When a woman understands the power of silence, she steps into a different kind of strength, the kind of quiet confidence that makes a man not only notice her, but feel drawn to her in a way he can't explain. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a language of wisdom, discipline, and emotional clarity. And the truth is, the right silences speak louder than arguments, louder than explanations, and louder than any effort to prove your worth. There are moments in life when holding back your words is the strongest move you can make, because silence shows that you know who you are, what you deserve, and what you will no longer tolerate. A man becomes addicted not when you chase him, but when your silence forces him to stop, think, and realize what he is on the verge of losing. Silence creates space, and space creates desire. You don't have to raise your voice to raise your value. The woman who knows how to stay silent in the right moments becomes unforgettable. And it's this power that makes him come closer, think deeper, and love harder. When you don't react emotionally every time something bothers you, you become a woman with emotional mastery. Men admire emotional control because it shows strength, maturity, and discipline. When you choose silence instead of yelling, instead of defending yourself, instead of trying to force him to understand your side, you shift all the power back to yourself. He begins to wonder what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and why you're so calm. That curiosity becomes attachment. Your silence becomes the mirror he must look into. It forces him to examine his own behavior instead of focusing on your reaction. A woman who stays silent in the middle of chaos shows that she's not led by her emotions, she leads them. And that level of composure is rare. It's valuable. It's magnetic. It makes him want to rise to your level. Silence also gives you the gift of clarity. Without speaking, you understand more. You see more. You feel more. You process situations without the noise of anger or insecurity. And when you finally choose to speak, your words are wise, intentional, and impactful. Your silence after a disrespectful moment is not neglect. It is alignment with your standards. When you don't rush to argue or justify yourself, you show that you don't entertain behavior that makes you step out of character. A man becomes addicted to a woman who doesn't respond to chaos. He admires the dignity in your silence, even if he doesn't say it. Silence in this moment teaches him how to treat you. It teaches him what you will allow. It teaches him that your peace is more valuable than winning any argument. And as you grow older, this kind of peace becomes essential. Your health matters. Your blood pressure matters. Your stress levels matter. A calmer mind leads to a healthier heart, especially for older adults. Silence protects your emotional health, but also strengthens your physical health, because stress is one of the biggest contributors to aging, inflammation, and fatigue. When you practice calm silence instead of emotional explosion, your body stays balanced, your hormones stay steady, your heart stays safe, and a woman who guards her peace looks younger, feels stronger, and carries a glow that no makeup can create. Silence also gives you the time to take care of yourself. When you step back from stress, you can step into healthier routine. You can take a morning walk, stretch your body, breathe deeply, hydrate, and return to yourself. Men fall in love with a woman who takes care of her mind and her health because she radiates stability and grounded energy. Silence helps you reset. It helps you make better choices with your lifestyle, choosing food that nourish your body instead of feeding your stress. Choosing gentle exercises like walking, yoga, or simple stretching to keep your body mobile and strong, especially as you grow older. When your emotions are calm, your decisions improve, and that includes your choices in meals, sleep, and self-care. Men become addicted to the woman who glows from the inside because she has peace in her heart and discipline in her life. Another powerful silence is the silence you keep when you're no longer chasing validation or begging for attention. When you stop explaining your worth and instead let him feel your absence, everything shifts. He starts to feel the gap where your energy used to be. He starts to wonder why you're not texting first, not checking on him, not waiting on him. Your silence creates contrast. It makes him realize that your presence was a blessing, Men always notice silence more than noise. Your silence shows emotional independence. It tells him you don't rely on him to feel whole. That kind of energy makes a man respect you, crave you, and want to be closer to you, because your value is no longer tied to how loudly you express it. It's tied to how quietly you walk away when something doesn't feel right. A woman who can remove her emotions, stand on her standards, and step back with quiet confidence becomes unforgettable. This silence is power. It's the kind that makes him rethink everything he has done. And when he realizes that he might lose you, that silence becomes the very thing that pulls him back in. There's also the silence where you stop arguing to prove your point. You don't pressure him. You don't beg him to understand. You let actions prove what words never could. This level of silence comes from emotional maturity. A grown woman knows that peace is better than winning a fight. She knows that some conversations don't need words, they need distance and reflection. Silence gives a man the chance to understand your heart without the noise of conflict. When you stop trying to fix everything with words, he starts to notice the pain behind your silence. Your quietness becomes the teacher. Your absence becomes the message. And when he comes back with understanding, not confusion. He comes back because he wants to, not because you pushed him. This deep emotional silence becomes a bond that grows stronger with time. Then there is the silence of self-growth. When you quietly work on yourself, improving your health, your skin, your routines, your inner peace, your transformation speaks louder than anything you could ever say. This kind of silence becomes magnetic. Men are naturally drawn to a woman who grows without announcing it. You start eating better, choosing fruits, vegetables, and whole meals that energize your body. You drink more water. You take light walks that help your joints, your heart, and your mobility as you age. You stretch your body every morning to keep it flexible and strong. You meditate or pray to center your mind and release stress. This silent self-growth becomes visible in your glow, in your calmness, in your attitude. He sees you becoming stronger, healthier, happier, and more confident. And that transformation makes him addicted to your presence. Growth is attractive. Peace is attractive. A woman who invests in herself becomes a woman no man wants to lose. Another silence that captures a man's heart is the silence where you listen deeply. Not to respond, not to react, but to understand. A man rarely finds someone who listens with calm patience. When you listen silently, you make him feel seen. You make him feel understood. You make him feel respected. And when a man feels safe opening up, he becomes emotionally bonded to you. He becomes addicted to the peace you bring into his life. Silence becomes a shelter. Your calm presence becomes his comfort. Your stability becomes his anchor. Especially for older adults, the power of emotional connection matters more than anything. Listening silently helps reduce conflict, reduce misunderstanding, and build deeper emotional intimacy that lasts. And when you combine that emotional strength with physical well-being, eating right, taking care of your sleep, drinking enough water, keeping your body active, the energy you radiate becomes irresistible. There's also the silence of mystery, not telling everything, not revealing all your thoughts, not giving all your emotions up front. Keeping a little bit of mystery makes him curious. It makes him think about you long after you've left the room. It makes him wonder what's on your mind, what you're feeling, and what you're holding back. A man becomes addicted to a woman he cannot fully decode, not because she is hiding something, but because she is layered, deep, and emotionally intelligent. Mystery is not manipulation. It is emotional depth. It is self-respect. It is knowing that not everyone deserves access to your inner world. This silence keeps him engaged. It keeps him invested. It keeps him thinking about you all day. It creates a pull, a magnetism, a fascination that does not fade, especially as you grow older. Keeping mystery keeps your relationship young. It keeps passion alive. It keeps him curious and connected. The last silence is the silence of peace, the quietness you carry when you've healed, forgiven, and released what hurt you. This silence is powerful because it carries maturity, softness, and emotional wisdom. A man becomes addicted to the woman whose peace feels like home. When your mind is calm, your heart is steady, and your spirit is grounded, you attract not just love, but respect, admiration, and loyalty. Peace makes you glow differently. It makes your eyes softer, your face brighter, your energy lighter. When you take care of your health, choose a balanced diet, practice light exercise, sleep well, and maintain a positive mindset, your peace becomes unshakable. And that kind of peace is irresistible. Men don't want drama. They don't want chaos. They want the woman whose silence brings calmness, not confusion. The woman who heals instead of breaks. The woman who loves without losing herself. The woman whose silence speaks truth, strength, and grace. Silence is not the absence of communication. It is communication in its most powerful form. And when you learn to use it wisely, you become a woman who is unforgettable, irreplaceable, and deeply valued. Men admire the woman who doesn't need to speak to prove her worth, because her silence is filled with confidence. Her silence is filled with strength. Her silence is filled with dignity. And that silence makes him addicted, not because she plays games, but because she loves herself enough to protect her peace, her health, and her emotional well-being. The woman who masters silence masters her life. She becomes the woman he can't stop thinking about, the woman he can't replace, and the woman he becomes truly afraid to lose.